So, did that atheist guy really tell you to provoke me to go to the psych ward?
Yes.
Doesn't that seem out of the ordinary?
Kinda.
My chest too at your room. I think you should go to Oakley's and let me see it all the time. Oakley's room's a lot better. Maybe you should just run out and take the other room. And keep that room for, I don't know, but don't sleep in there, for God's sakes. Because that room's just horrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something's wrong with it. I don't know what it is. I can't see it. It could be some gold hidden under, hidden somewhere. Could be, I don't know. Because whatever it is, it's not smelly.
Alright. What was the man driving? He took pictures of the house?
Yeah, he was driving a gray car with some red on it.
Yeah, that guy just passed me on the road. It was just now, huh? He was like...
Yeah.
He was driving with his fog lights on.
Yeah.
Dude, there's... People have been harassing me in town and stuff on the way on the road, too.
Well, he said he was from Chase. But I don't know.
You know, I'm surprised because...
Have you stopped posting incendiary stuff on the web?
In America, we're supposed to have freedom of speech.
Well, we don't. Because that was true when you were a little kid, and then after the towers blew up, they started passing all these stupid national security acts.
So you agree that it's logical that people persecute people who post videos, right?
Yes, they do. So on the basis of the videos, yes.
One thing they do is they try to play people out like they're schizophrenic. I've come across a lot of people with the same problem as I have, with people harassing them for the videos, and they're trying to play them out as schizophrenic.
Well, you're not schizophrenic. That's a misdiagnosis.
So now that I've reposted these videos, reaffirming and firmly establishing that gang stalking is real, that it's happening to me, that they are filming my room, and also, if you've been paying attention, I've made a claim that I intend to validate, I intend to bring credibility and credence to, that they're drugging my food and my sodas. At the grocery stores I go to, at the local fast foods, I've come across several people who have reported the same thing, and I've contacted lawyers who didn't get back to me about it. Well, the solution is simple. You have to identify the groups that are doing this. You have to see them for what they are. You know, Masonry is a terrorist organization. There's certain philosophies that allow for this, but I personally don't believe in outlawing philosophies per se, even though it would be helpful to society. It would also be detrimental to liberty and freedom. You know, it wouldn't really, to a country that talks about liberty and freedom, it would not really be a positive thing to do. Basically, Satanism is a terrorist religion. They try to focus on Satan liberating women, or supposedly, or Satan liberating gays, supposedly. But really, what Satanism is, if you truly idolize Satan, or you say that he's right, then you're saying that pedophilia, murder, robbery, thieving, and a lot of other evils are okay. So Satanism is basically a philosophy that approves of evil, murder, rape, and what have you. So it needs to be outlawed as a criminal philosophy. Criminality should not be promoted. LGBT philosophies need to be suppressed, but not outlawed, but really thoroughly stigmatized instead of promoted. Feminism, same thing. Atheism, same thing. And racism and eugenics needs to be addressed in a very straightforward, effective manner instead of a kind of corny, nonsensical manner. This is what really needs to be done on a philosophical level. As far as on a practical, institutional level, all Masons should be required to report themselves. They should not be allowed to have government jobs or to be police officers or to work in the FBI. Anyone in a secret society should basically be labeled a terrorist. Secret societies should be considered terrorist organizations, especially if they have some sort of mind control or occult theme. And just MK Ultra alone is justification enough for this. Not to mention Francis Galton and Nathan Bedford Forrest and so on and so forth. Because eugenicists and secret societies have founded intelligence agencies, they need to be thoroughly scrutinized in a very effective way. No superficial investigation, and great lengths and pains should be taken to ensure that the people doing the investigations aren't in secret societies themselves. Everybody who has has taken part in gang stalking should be fined, and they should be suspended, to say the least. And if you're going to be completely fair about it, they should all be charged with felony stalking. They might say, well, they're just doing their job or whatever. There really is no excuse. If they were raping little children, would we say, well, everyone in the system was doing it, so let's just, let them get away with it? No, they need to be punished for it. That's the right thing to do. That's the legal thing to do. There shouldn't be any double standards in society. There's a way to operate this country to keep it safe and to keep it on the forefront of the political stage without having these double standards, allowing human rights violations in Saudi Arabia, for instance, turning a blind eye to the human rights violations against Palestinians. There's a way to operate this country without this nonsensical stuff, especially with this huge military force that we have. So these are the things that need to be done. On record, page 33 of Dr. Colin Ross's books, The CIA Doctors, flat out the Scottish Rite funded MKUltra. In my research, I have not found a single instance of anyone being prosecuted successfully for non-consensual experimentation or unethical experimentation, including MKUltra, with its 15,000 plus documents available about it. What tends to happen is that when this country decides that it is okay to release information, they release it, and it's late. And there's a lot of statutes of limitations at play here, for rape, for instance. So the people who were raped, when it comes out that on record they were raped by these psych op running miscreants and scoundrels, they don't get any justice. And that's just one small instance. There's a lot of things when you look at it that the statute of limitation has run out, or prosecutors aren't interested in it, and so on. What needs to happen is there needs to be transparency with this stuff. There needs to be a serious UN committee designed to ensure that the Nuremberg Code is not violated, that non-consensual experimentation doesn't take place, and mind control should be considered one of the most atrocious and pernicious human rights violations. It should be a main concern. There cannot be liberty in the world when there is mind control. There is not true democracy when there is mind control. There is not a fair universal standard when there is mind control. Anyone who says that they live in a free country when there is unethical experimentation taking place for the purpose of mind control to maintain an order in society that has been placed there by a secret cabal of social engineers and social designers, social developers, social planners, is an idiot. This is not freedom. This is mind control, operant conditioning, behavior modification, and you're being punished if you do something they don't want you to do. If you do something that's good for the establishment and the order they have placed, including celebrities and athletes, then magically you are rewarded. This is a disgrace. And the whole reason that they've been attacking Christianity since the Age of Enlightenment intensely is they say, well, we're doing it for freedom. Mind control is not freedom. Your whole justification for attacking Christianity and the Christian establishments of old, separating church and state and so on, was for freedom. But then you bring in mind control that no Christian regime in history has ever achieved. You are more oppressive than any Christian government in history by far. And it's because Satanism is your philosophy. Let's face it. Okay, I will give $3,000 if you can definitively prove that the social engineers are not Satanists for the most part. Not necessarily that they're self-confessed Satanists, but their philosophy is materialism. It allows for murder and eugenics, shallowness, selfishness, conformity, cowardice, evilness, and lies. And these are the main characteristics of Satan and his followers. So it's about time you people admit to yourself that we live in the most oppressive country in history up to this point. Because no country has ever achieved the level of mind control that America has. No country has gone to such great lengths to make you believe you're free. I mean, no one is more oppressed than someone who believes they're free under heavy mind control. They really don't even have a chance to even begin to free themselves, much less even think for themselves. I promise you the most insightful minds will agree with me. Masons and their allies control America, and their main institution of control is mental health. With the law, it is a little more tricky for them to force you to see it their way. But when they try to play out anyone who deviates from one of their set courses, one of the schools of thought they allow you to follow, they use mental health on you. So the main enemies of freedom are mental health and Freemasonry. With that being said, I'm going to end by saying this. In Stalinist Russia, when political dissidents were put in the gulag, they knew damn well what was being done and why. They were working themselves to death under extreme conditions. That was brutal. It also helped build the country. In a way that people could enjoy. So though it was oppressive, it was also contributing to a positive society that was not so openly satanic or as satanic as America. Christians were working towards a Masonic philosophy that was not openly satanic, building toward that. And in the long term, they were building toward a new world order. It was very oppressive. But they also had the freedom to think for themselves and to pray in secret to their God. In the society that we're building, people may not work as hard, but hard work is part of the Christian philosophy. And remember, this is a predominantly Christian society. What could be more oppressive than taking a predominantly Christian society, controlling their mind until they become Satanists against their free will, against their better judgment? There's no secretly praying, there's no secret prayer to their Lord. There was just being forced to convert, and powerful mind control ensuring that they convert sincerely, or truly, rather. It is oppression of the mind, body, and soul, whereas Stalin only oppressed the body and dabbled in mind control, but was unsuccessful. And it is very obvious because there's a lot of Christians in Russia to this day. What you are seeing is a successful push toward the most oppressive state in history. And what's worse, that they will spread it throughout the world so there is nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Complete Satanism, complete mind control, complete oppression. There is no good excuse for it. The perpetrators of this demonic philosophy need to be brought to justice or executed in a non-judicial manner. There's no way around that. These are the biggest terrorists of all. They kill way, way more people than ISIS, and they do it in a way that allows them to operate with impunity and to continue to murder. Anyone who's looked into it knows that I'm right. Anyone who's listened to my argument and they looked into the facts and the encyclopedias, into the valid sources, they know that I'm right. They will also come across these bootlicking cowards who put out lies there. You know, people who you might consider valid sources, except for they are liars. And they put out lies with the purpose to mislead you. What must be done, I promise you, is everything I said ever since I played the newer clips. Masons, mental health needs to be all but destroyed. We should have a Christian-styled mental health system in a predominantly Christian nation. We shouldn't be giving people eugenic pills, and we shouldn't be forced medicating anyone. Give them a choice. If they don't want to take the medication and they're going to get in trouble with the law, then let them. That is their choice. That's what freedom is about. If you don't have freedom to choose what drugs go into your own body, sovereignty with your body only makes sense when there's not another life form growing in your body. That's when it's no longer sovereignty of your body. That's when you have to consider the rights of the baby inside of you. But to say, well, we're afraid this person might hurt somebody else, that is nonsense. That's worse than accusing somebody of a thought crime. Because everybody has a potential. You know, why not apply that standard to criminals, people on parole, force them on medication? Everyone in the ghetto who's more likely to commit a crime, because crime and poverty goes hand in hand, force them on medication. See, you're not going to follow your train of thought to its finish, because then there would be massive protests. So you're incrementally doing it, you're covertly doing it, and you're subtly doing it. And you're dead wrong for it. Every chemist and pharmacologist who has been complicit should do serious time. 25 to life, and if they knew what they were doing, they should be executed. There is no excuse for what they're doing. These are the worst terrorists in history. The worst. And they know they are. They created ISIS and so on. I know. I used to deal with the streets. I know for a fact the government brings in the drugs. They create the terrorists. They are the biggest pedophiles, human traffickers, sex traffickers. It is the secret societies behind the government. And they're bragging and they're laughing. They're laughing pretty hard at the people who are too stupid to see it. And they are absolutely rolling and cannot stop laughing at the people who think it's smart to play stupid, or there's some yuppie that thinks they're cool for being a part of it. They cannot stop laughing at you idiots who know what's going on, but you're so stupid and so weak, so pathetic and easy to control that you're helping them. You fucking pussy.